Dan Orlowski was all over X, weren't you? Watching tape, tweeting some things out. And Louis Riddick is here from the Indianapolis Combine. Good morning, Louis. Thank you for getting up early with us.
Looking
there
dapper.
From Indy.
Hold on, Shay. Props to, somebody recognized and remembered the dress code associated with First Take. Louis Riddick is in Indy looking sharp. Way to go. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed.
Stephen A. This ain't about your dress code, bro. This is just how I roll. Okay, I have range like that. All right, you already know this. You already know that. So that's just what this is.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here because you always look good. You always look good.
Dan's in his hockey sweater. He's supporting Team USA. It's okay. Too bad you didn't wear that yesterday with Doggy. All right, anyway, let's go to Monday, and let's go to you on X annoying me, because this is what Dio tweeted out. Studying the first 5 games of Mendoza's tape, and it's not what I expected so far. Yeah. Explain.
Yeah, so I'm through 8 games now, and through 8 games, you see good, but there's a lot of underwhelming. I think there's a lot when you watch Mendoza's tape through 8 games, not all the way through, and I understand that his season finishes strong, but I don't know, there's not a ton of big-time throws. There's a lot of clean pockets. There's a ton of RPOs and back shoulder fades, a ton of them, RPOs and back shoulder fades. And then there's moments where you see, like, okay, that first read's not there. He's spooked with his feet, and he becomes a runner unnecessarily. If you take away the RPOs and then those back shoulder fades, there's just not a ton of balls over the middle of the field. Very good decisions. I think that's his superpower, is he avoids negative plays. But you're looking at a guy that you're saying first pick, and I think through 8 games, Ty Simpson's tape from Alabama through the first 8 games of the season, I think is significantly more impressive than Fernando Mendoza's.
Okay, really quick. He did play for Cal the year before, so maybe taking a few games to get acclimated to Kirk.
And I just haven't watched the back half of the season yet. I just haven't gotten to those.
Okay, so before I go to Louis here and Stephen A., do you still think he is the clear-cut #1 overall pick?
I'm not there, and that's through half of the season or so. I'm just not there. NFL season just got done 2-3 weeks ago. I haven't gotten to the back 7 or 8 games or so. So I am not there through half of the season.
You should be ashamed of yourself. If this, Louis, this is what bothers me. You know, and listen. We all brothers here, man. But this is what bothers me about my bro, Dan Orlowski, my brother from another mother. He really gets on my nerves with this stuff. Had there been Stephen A. Smith about anybody, and I mean anybody, Dan Orlowski, he's such a hater. Ryan Clark, he's such a hater. This is what they would have said. So I got a Heisman Trophy winner who goes undefeated, who wins the national championship, who has one of the epic moments in college football this past, the pass to Omar Cooper against Penn State, the run in the national championship game, along with a bevy of other moments, because that's what it comes to. You would point to all of those things and say, when it counted most, the man stepped up. It was his first year in Indiana. He was playing under Signetti, and look at the development and the growth and all of this other stuff. But even though you have more tape to watch, because you haven't completed your job yet, because you didn't look at the other 7 or 8 games to go, right? All right, you're going to sit up there and say, the Heisman Trophy winner, the reigning national champion, I saw some tapes about him that gives me cause to pause, and I can't say definitively that he's my #1 guy. If it were anybody else, you'd be accusing him of being a hater. But you, Mr. Hockey, we doing that hockey this morning, you, Mr. Elvis, you can go on national TV and say that based on half your job being done. You're unbelievable, Dan. You're just unbelievable. I'll give it to you. You're one of a kind.
My job isn't to watch every single snap of
There's
these
nobody
guys
like Dan
February
Orlowski.
20th.
Go ahead, man.
That's not my job.
Ahead, man.
That I was at.
Okay.
I've gone through half of those games. The NFL season literally just got done. I've gone through half of those games.
Did nobody ask you? Hold on. Who asked you to give your analysis after half the job was done? Did you do that on social media? Did you show up on NFL Live or SportsCenter to do that? That's not what you did.
First Take did.
You went on social media. That is not your job. That was a choice you made. You made that choice. Yes, it is. You didn't wait. You didn't wait until you see all the games. You didn't have your win on social media. After the first 5 games, nobody asked you to do that. You chose to do that. Go ahead, Louis. Go ahead, man. please.
Yeah. I disagree. We've seen some things very similarly when it comes to quarterback play over the past couple of years, but I disagree with Dan. I couldn't disagree more, quite honestly. Look, if you go back to week 5 against Iowa, week 7, I believe it is, against Oregon, week 10 against Penn State. If I was a defender going up against Fernando Mendoza and won, okay, let me just start here with the intangibles, the football character, the toughness that this kid shows, the mental horsepower that this kid shows, the ability for me to sit there and go, I just can't show him what I'm trying to do here because he's going to pick me apart. He's going to know exactly where to go with the football. This guy is one of the most efficient dudes that I've seen in a long time as far as being able to play the game from the neck up. And then from a physical standpoint, I would say this dude plays on time. He plays in rhythm. He throws the speed outs as fast as anyone. His ball handling on the RPOs, his decision-making on the RPOs is fantastic. His back shoulder accuracy is better than just about anyone in the NFL right now. The guy can throw the back shoulders as well as anyone. He drove seam balls over the middle of the field in between the numbers in the hash as well as any quarterback I saw in the NFL. His red zone efficiency, his red zone accuracy, that throw to win the football game against Penn State, there aren't many people who can make that kind of throw. There aren't many people who can come back from the kind of shot that he took in the Big Ten championship against Ohio State and then come back and play that game the way in which he did. So, look, I'll tell you what. I looked at my notes this morning as I was, getting ready for this and trying to think about, okay, were there some reservations that I had about him? And I did notice that I did say this. Does he look like a guy who I played with twice, a former number 1 overall pick in Jeff George, one of the best natural throwers of the football that God's ever created? But Jeff George wasn't a franchise caliber quarterback. He wasn't a winning quarterback. Does he look like that? No. Does he look like Matthew Stafford? Absolutely not. These dudes are one of one from a physical standpoint. They are one of one, and you'll never probably see many guys like that ever created again. Does he look like Jamarcus Russell? No, we know what Jamarcus Russell turned into. But what did Peyton Manning look like when he came out of Tennessee? Andrew Luck, did he have a howitzer like Matthew Stafford? No, but he's one of those guys who Indianapolis was still trying to recover from. Fernando Mendoza is a number 1 overall pick. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm John Spytek. I'm not even overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still, once I see the final 7 games, I might get to that point, Lou. I honestly might. I just haven't gotten to that point. I would tell you that Iowa game that you talk about, that Iowa game, that would be one of those eggs this year. That was a tough game to watch. And I think the quarterback conversation between really the two guys that are in the conversation this year is interesting because the first half of the season, I don't think Mendoza's tape is great. And to everyone's point, it gets really good. They've experienced it, I haven't. Ty Simpson from Alabama's first 8 games are phenomenal. And then he tails off. I think teams got to figure that out because if we were just going through 8 games, you go Ty Simpson by far the better player. What pops to me, Lou, in those first 8 weeks, Omar Cooper Jr. is awesome. Surratt's awesome. We're talking about these back shoulder fades and the ball placement. Those dudes are the stars of the tape through 2 months.
That was a spectacular catch.
There's no doubt.
Penn State to catch it like that and come down. He came down with both feet in bounds. It was a spectacular catch on his part, no doubt about it. But when I'm looking at Mendoza and I'm seeing the growth, your first year with Cignetti, all right, and you pointed out the Penn State game, and then you look at what he did. I mean, you beat Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, and Miami to win the national championship, and you ascend each and every single time. You know that you're in line to capture the Heisman. You're competing against others for it, and you elevate your level of play as the competition stiffens. I think that when you're looking for a number 1 overall pick, what doesn't he have going for him? As far as I'm concerned, it's clear cut. It's nothing to even think about.
Go ahead, though.
Yeah, look, I think you definitely have to keep in context the fact that this young man was transferring all the way across the country into a new system, trying to get his feet wet, trying to get acclimated, and there is going to be a ramp-up time period. Okay, and there's going to be those games where it doesn't look perfect for him. But his progression throughout the course of the season is exactly what you're looking for. It's his first time playing with these guys, with a team that was totally overhauled, and he's the quarterback. And he went on and threw 41 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and led an organization and a football program to the promised land that had never even sniffed it before. You have to factor all that in when you're talking about the number 1 overall pick. You just have to. And to go back to your point about Ty Simpson, Look, I'm a Ty Simpson fan. I love what the kid brings to the table. I think he fits perfectly in what an LA Rams type of offense is really trying to get done from a philosophical standpoint. And I don't think he goes outside of the top 15 picks overall in the first round. He was hurt during the latter part of the year. His offensive line stunk. They had no running game. His wide receivers were all over the map. I'm not a Ty Simpson basher at all. I think he's going to be much better than people think he's going to be.
Well, right now, Mel Kiper Jr. has him going 21st overall. That would be to the Steelers. Meanwhile, as we know, Fernando Mendoza, #1 overall to the Raiders as it stands today. We still got like 2 months until the NFL draft. Louis, thank you very much. Enjoy the combine today. Jay Will's going to be back here in a minute.